Welcome back to another episode of On Call with April and
Hey, April,
Alicia.
excuse me 1 second. I'm sorry, really sorry for 1 second. Can I interrupt? Thank you.
Of course, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very long time since I've seen my friend April. April, when's the last time we recorded a podcast?
Last year.
Exactly, thank you. It's been way too long, and I've been lamenting a little bit, and for those that are watching us on video, I wrote you kind of like when you go to camp and you don't really miss your parents at first, but then you kind of miss them by like month two. I don't know how long your parents sent you to camp, but mine sent me for
I
a while,
never
but
went to sleepaway camp actually, but
okay, well, this is my Dear April letter that was really an email that I wrote. And so I want to read you all my thoughts about you. Ready? Dear
oh
April,
gosh.
it's been a few months since we last recorded on December 15th, and I spent that time doing two things you absolutely love, paying way too much attention to the weather and reading deeply upsetting germ-related news stories. First, I need to talk to you, April, about the weather. 2026 started with that really huge cold freeze that like froze half of our country, and then there was a bunch of snow, and then there's some random warm days, and then suddenly it felt like spring, and then there were tornadoes. Now we're back in winter. So that's my update on the weather since we've been gone. Also know the podcast is about medicine, but I do think the audience should be aware that the weather has been extremely active. So I will be continuing to track these temperatures. So I just want you to let you know that, April. And I know this is completely unrelated, but I just want to prepare you emotionally for the possibility that this is going to come up on today's show. Also, since we've been away from each other, I have been watching Germ Stories like a sport. We'll talk about this later. Welcome back to the podcast.
Well, thanks. I thought it was going to be more about how you like love me and you missed me. But no, it's all about the weather.
This is On Call.
Wow, this would be really cool to just wear scrubs all the time. Then you don't have to think about what you're going to wear to work.
That is awesome.
We're here to answer your questions.
We can sit down and discuss all. Wait, I gotta go. I'm on call.
Wait, you're on call? I thought I was on call.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of On Call with April and Alicia. I'm April.
I'm Alicia, and we're back to the podcast. April,
Woohoo!
we are back.
I did genuinely miss
I
recording.
really did write you a letter. Like, it's real.
Aww.
And it's a lot longer than what I read, but I just wanted you to know all the things that have been happening in the world that I haven't had a chance to really bother you about. And I realized as I was thinking through some of them, I was like, April's got to be really annoyed. The germ stories. I was like, oh my gosh, wait till you see this one story that they were just talking about. What was it? Hold on, let me look at my story. Um, I said, I said, other thing I'm doing is reading horrifying germ stories on the internet, like things about
For
how much
sure.
bacteria are living on shopping cart handles, cash,
Okay, we're not talking about that. I
and
can't do
coins.
it.
No, we have to.
No.
And restaurant menus. That was the big
No.
one.
No,
So
no,
I
no.
said,
That's
I
enough.
said, which has frankly been a terrible choice for my mental health. So
Yes, we're not talking
it
about
was
that
really just
because I'm
flight
not
of
going to think about
ideas.
that. Yeah.
I was like, dear mom, while at camp.
I thought
But
it was going to be like, Dear April, I miss you so much. You're
no,
such a
I just
great
needed to let you know, like, are
podcast
you paying attention to
person.
the weather? Do you know?
No, I pay attention to the fact that I had an 80-degree day, and then yesterday we were in the 30s with snow. So I
It's
pay
been
attention
bad.
to that.
Actually, it's been exciting. I know there's been a lot of people that have been impacted in other ways, but yeah, it's been a wild 26.
It really has. Like, I'm over the weather. I'm ready
I'm
for.
over a lot of things. I'm like, it's just been wild, but I am happy to be back. And we have had a ton of stuff going on, I think personally and professionally, and really just rebranding and looking at where we wanted to take our podcast, and thought it would be a good time for us to step back, work with our production team and our marketing teams, and decide what's the best way to come back and make this podcast better for all of you guys. So thanks for hanging out and being patient with us in the time that we've been out. But we are more than excited to be back and ready to give you all of the entertainment that we can.
That you can handle. I know there's
Possibly.
been multiple people that have asked me, like, are you guys like not recording anymore? I'm like, no, we're gonna come back. We just needed a
Yeah,
little
well, I was
a
on a
little
one-on-one
hiatus.
today. Somebody said that on a meeting, and said I said, "Oh, I can't do that this afternoon." We are back. I was like, "We're back in a podcast," and I got a pretty large blog for it. And they said, oh, I was wondering. I happened to pop on there the other day and saw you haven't done anything since December. And I was like,
That's their way of being like, you're slacking.
yes, yes, absolutely. So it's awesome to be back and we're glad to be back. But one of our new segments is what's coming off the pager this week. And that's going to be a segment that we're taking a look at a news story or something that we do want to share with our community of listeners. So I'm going to ask you this week, April, what's off your pager? What's coming off your pager today?
Yeah, I actually thought this was interesting. This story popped up when I was, just looking at medical news, as we do in our spare time. Um,
Yeah, all that spare time.
yeah, did you know that there was the first successful human bladder transplant in 2025?
No, I didn't even know you could transplant a bladder.
I know, right? I mean, we hear about like, the heart, lungs, kidney, all of that. But yep, in May, at UCLA Health, there was
Of
a
25.
successful, yeah, of
Okay.
25. There was a successful human bladder transplant. So it was a patient who had had cancer, and had lost a large amount of their bladder due to cancer, had been dialysis dependent for years, and they were able to successfully transplant the kidneys and the bladder so that they could
Wow.
go off of dialysis. So I think this is obviously groundbreaking, right? But also, a lot of potential in the future to help a lot of people. So
Where'd you
thought it
say
was
this
interesting.
was?
UCLA.
UCLA. All right, let's go with the bladders. I wonder if they could transplant bladders for those of us that have weak bladders that like when you jump, you know. I don't know.
You
That
mean
could
like
be a good
every person
idea.
who's ever given birth?
Like or every I know women that haven't. You know what's very
Yeah, that's
interesting
true.
as a younger girl in her 20s made a comment like I don't know, every time I jump rope I pee my pants and she was like I don't know why and I was like there's nothing wrong with you. That's that's women. Not all women do, but like it's familiar to us. I was like welcome to the club.
Yep.
So
I remember the first time I went to the trampoline park with the kids, like after I was like, oh, we're not gonna jump today, guys. I'm not. Anyways, have fun.
my ankles hurt.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, it is, I feel like there's so much. I want to talk so much, but all in due time, right? We're back. It's spring. Can you believe our last episode was winter?
I know. And now
We're
we're
back
already in
almost where
spring.
it's not spring just yet, but it's close. And it is time to bring back our Faker for Real Spring Edition 2026. This one, though, with our new rebranding, guys, we are keeping score for real. And there are real stakes at the end of this year for who is going to win these episodes. So pay attention in April. You keep score. You know the rules.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So we're doing Spring Faker for Real 2026 edition. April, welcome back. You get to start.
All right. Are you ready?
I am.
Fact or fiction? Daylight savings can result in increased risk of heart attack.
Oh, a fact. I mean, I have a heart attack thinking about it. I think my troponins are currently elevated with just you saying
Well, it's so timely because it was last weekend, right? But yes, it is a fact. And so the reason for it, the primary issue is the disruption of your body's circadian rhythm, right? So that internal clock that regulates our sleep and our metabolism and our various bodily functions. So even just an hour shift in that can cause like, kind of like a mini jet lag in our body. So it has effects in multiple things. So heart health is one. So there was a research study that was done that showed the risk of heart attacks increases by about 24% on the Monday after the transition. There were
Oh, wow.
some other articles that didn't think that that was quite as significant, but definitely some data showing that it is. There's also an increased number of car accidents because people are sleepy,
One
right? They're
hour?
sleep deprived and reduced alertness. Dark mornings are darker. Also, an increase in workplace injuries and those that are doing like physical labor and they're tired. Sleep deprivation can make you a little less coordinated. And then, of course, if people who suffer from mental health challenges that can get worse, with that change in their sleep. So
Yeah, that's
it
wild.
definitely has more effects than I thought it would. But
1 hour?
I definitely was really tired for like a couple days. So
Really? I
yeah.
I have so much to say, but we have a segment for that too, so we'll talk about that later. But okay, I've that's really 1 hour?
Yeah, I
Okay, all
know.
right.
Isn't that weird? I mean, of course, like kids, it doesn't affect them as much, but like,
It affected me worse as a child,
as
I
we get
think.
older,
I was
yeah.
like, why like 1 hour extra was like, yes. And then especially when you
Oh,
got
yes.
older, you're like, well, teenage-ish, like preteen, young adolescent college was like 1 extra hour at the club, 1 extra hour somewhere. Then it was like 1 extra hour sleep. Now it's like, ooh, I'm
Now
asleep
it's
at
like
seven
everybody's
o'clock.
still up anyways. It doesn't matter. So,
No, well, I mean, on those nights I prepare hours and hours and hours early, like where I'm like, I'm not going to feel the effects of it. I'm going to just trick myself into going to bed at like 8 that
yeah, okay.
night because it'll
How's
really
that
be
work out?
9. I have not felt the effects. This is the first year. Is that wild? Except I'm sleeping in longer from time to time. Depends on what's going on. Sometimes my body's like, hello, it's 2 a.m. and it's time for you to wake up. And then sometimes it's like, hello, it's 9 a.m. and you slept through your alarm. So that's the
Hmm.
stage of life I'm in right now. And it's been a
Okay.
long time, guys, since we saw each other. So we're going to be a little chatty on this episode. This is what it is. All right, I have one for you. Ready? So wait,
I'm
that's a
ready.
W for me. Got it. Sarah, put one
Well,
more ding noise in. Ding ding.
on my sheet it's an R, right or wrong.
Okay, I'm doing W's because I'm hip with the
Hmm.
current 6-7. Okay, here we go. High pollen exposure may temporarily reduce the airway's antiviral immune response. Fake or for real?
Can you repeat the question?
High pollen exposure may, not will, may temporarily reduce the airway's antiviral immune response. I made these so hard today because I have to win, period.
I'm gonna say fact.
Okay, well, that didn't work.
Oh,
Okie dokie.
I
Well,
agree.
that
I
didn't
love
work.
it. All right.
Well, that didn't work. But okay, you're right, actually. So experimental models show that pollen exposure can suppress, so for our medical people out here, the type 1 and type 3 interferon responses in our airway epithelial cells. So that reduced interferon signaling impairs early antiviral defenses, right? And then may increase susceptibility to respiratory viruses. So when we're looking at this, I'm doing this for what is happening in the world right now. This is one of the craziest seasons I've seen, April. I don't know what
I
you're seeing,
know.
but I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm in week 2, but I had like a down week. I really swear like it's been a month long, and it's constant into pink eye, into all these different things. It's like
Oh,
it's nuts. People are really sick, and the weather definitely is influencing it, but the weather being early spring. Spring's coming early. We love it, but that pollen is causing some problems, and I think this is some of the reason that we could be seeing some increased incidences just with the lability of things. So, but also that observational data did show that there were high correlations between pollen counts and respiratory viruses during this time of the year. So
interesting.
we love spring and we love seeing those pretty flowers, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I mean, just being outside the other day and it was like 80, I was like, oh my gosh, my
was it
head is
heaven?
killing me in my
And then it was
ears.
30
And
the next
yeah.
day and
Yes.
snowing.
I know.
It's
You gotta love
it
it.
was like 74. We got tornado warnings. I think we were talking about this before we started. Like tornado warnings went all through basically from Texas to
To the East
to the
Coast.
East
Yep.
Coast, and are still continuing as of this morning. But um, we went from that beautiful weather, then within one day it dropped 30 degrees with that storm system, and this weekend we're going to be back up with more tornado threats. So it's like
I know. It's
Mother
crazy.
Nature, listen, they put her in a spin cycle. I don't know. We're in a weather spin cycle right now, so
I know. Hopefully
hopefully
she
we come
calms
out on the
down.
clean end. All
I
right, so
know.
we're in a W. Let's go.
Or an R, but yeah. Okay, so my next one is I went multiple choice for this one because I know how much you love them.
This is my
So,
favorite. So
are you
yummy.
ready?
Sure.
All of the following insects sting multiple times except which one?
Please.
Well, can you just listen to the options? A, bumblebees, B, honeybees, C, wasps, or D, hornets? Which one does not sting multiple times?
Wasp hornets, they do, because I got stung multiple times in my ear by a wasp. I've been stung by hornets. they're the devil. Honeybees or what's the other bee?
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee tuna. Um, I'm going bumblebee.
You're wrong.
It's honeybee.
It is honeybee.
Tell me why.
So the
Really?
honeybees.
I wanted to do that. And you know what I was thinking? My girl. He can't see without his glasses.
Oh, I know.
Do you
Gosh, I
remember?
cried so much in that movie when I
That
was
is the
young.
most, never send a sixth grader to see that movie. That was
No, it was
traumatic.
like
It's the first
heartbreaking.
movie I saw in a movie theater.
Oh man, that's a rough one.
I
It
hated
was
Macaulay
such a
Culkin,
sad
and Home
movie.
Alone never saved it again. I was like, why did he die? Jamie Lee Curtis, why didn't you help him? I was so upset.
I know. I know.
All right, so tell me why.
So honeybees, they have like barbed stingers that they lodge in the skin of who they sting. So that stinger leaves, which causes the bee to die, the honeybees. So they sting once, they lose their stinger, and they die. However, bumblebees, carpenter bees, they have smoother stingers. So these guys can sting multiple times without harming themselves because their stingers don't get stuck. And as you mentioned, wasps, hornets, and yellow jackets, they can sting multiple times as well.
Oh, yellow jackets are horrible.
Yeah, those stings are pretty bad. But
Ugh,
yep.
that stinks. You know, when I was I went to Mexico over the New Year, and we've not talked, but I was sitting just, those ledges they have on a pool.
Mhm.
Like it's in the pool, so you're kind of in the water, but you don't have to go be water princess. You just can go be a shelf princess. I just was shelf princessing, and all of a sudden I just yell out, "Ah!" like really loud, and I was like, something just bit me, and I was like, but I'm not in the ocean, so what happened? And I couldn't figure it out, but like my side of my like leg, I was like, what the heck? I got stuck. I must have rolled over. I don't know if a sweat bee, something. The stinger was in me though. And it wasn't a
Mm.
honeybee sitting at the Sea of Cortez. That would have been really weird, but that bad boy lost its stinger and it deserved it. So
Well, and if you're going to remove the stingers, you got to pull them straight out. Don't squeeze them because then you can put
otherwise,
more of
yes,
the venom into you. But so it's important just to kind of keep in mind what is around, just so you know if it's going to sting you more than
do they
once.
look different? Honeybees and
Well, yeah, bumblebees are like the big fat ones that are like
are they?
black and white. I mean, just
I always
kidding,
thought those were
yellow.
yellow jackets.
Yeah. Um,
Black and yellow,
no,
right?
I think the bumblebees are the larger ones, I believe.
The fatter of the bees.
Yeah,
So they should be on GLP-1s.
sure.
That's just a joke, because that's my next question.
Okay.
Ready? Did you like that transition?
Yeah, nice job.
I've been practicing for several
Good work.
months.
You've been
All right.
rehearsing on it, I can tell.
I'm excited to be back, actually. I think we needed this. We probably should have done this a lot
I know, it's
sooner.
good for my mental health, I think.
Oh, it's so good. Okay. All right. GLP-1 receptor antagonists.
Mm.
We're going to talk about hydration risks. Ready? Patients taking GLP-1 receptor antagonists for weight loss may have an increased risk for dehydration, particularly during warmer months. Fake or for real?
For real.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, are we tied? We are. Look at us.
No, you were wrong. We are
We
not
are tied. That's what I was just saying.
No,
What
I'm
did I
winning.
say?
I'm
What?
winning.
I thought we said we're tied. I thought you said I got that one right.
You did not. I gave you
I thought I
an.
said I'm pretty sure I said honeybee. So we are tied, but listen, you got that right. Congratulations, April. This is great. So
This is why April keeps score and not Alicia.
the GLP-1 receptor antagonists, they reduce appetite, right? That's their job.
Yeah.
And they delay gastric emptying and they do other things, guys. So the GLP-1s, I want to do a plug here. I am hearing a lot of negativity. I don't know if you are too around
Yeah.
the use of these, and it upsets me a bit because there are people that are abusing it. That's different than its use and like what it was designed for. And there are people that really need this drug and that really benefit from this drug. So I don't want us to be a podcast or like a group of people that are very judgmental that the minute we hear that, we're like, oh, somebody with unnecessary weight loss that won't go to the gym and won't change diet modification and stuff. Like, no, I think we see the worst of the worst. And we do see people that have access taking advantage of it. But it's a very helpful medication and it did things before weight loss. Okay, so
Yeah.
it was taking care of diabetes, that patient population, and cardiovascular protection. So that's my little plug. But with the delayed gastric emptying, then it also like backs food up. So for patients listening, that just means your digestion slows down a lot, backs food up. It doesn't make you hungry and it doesn't signal our bodies need to want to eat or drink. So we are at risk for dehydration, and then obviously, can have hypotension and other effects from that because of the use of that medication, but not abuse. That's not what we're talking about here.
Yep.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
I just needed to do that plug because that's an important one for us
No, it
right
is.
now.
I mean, there's a lot of, talk about those lately. So,
Well, and I feel that there's like patients that when they get in the hospital, and I actually had one that when we were reviewing meds, and just for those that maybe have never been in a hospital, we sit down and we review your medication list with you and everything you're taking, including, your supplements and your herbs and things, because we want to know, we want to continue, or we want to see like what else could be causing issues. And it's interesting when we get to semaglutide or the Wegovy, I can't remember what that generic is, but we get there and they kind of like mumble through it. Or they're
uh,
like, but I take it for diabetes, immediately. And it's like, it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
there's
don't,
some
if you were taking it for weight
stigma
loss,
around it,
it's
I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of shame and there's a lot of people making fun of it. So I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, especially in the community, but I think we have to really do a good job to make sure that our patients are then not going to be, I mean, shamed by their own families or family, they're not healthcare providers, all of them, and they don't know how to explain to their families why their doctor put them on semaglutide, or, another GLP-1. So they're not all weight loss meds, guys.
Yep.
Okay,
All
your
right.
turn.
All right. Fact or fiction? Snake
Fact.
bites. All right, you want to
Go
stick with that answer or you want to listen to the
ahead.
question?
No. Am
All
I going to
right.
win?
No, you're already
Okay.
losing.
No, we're tied.
No. Okay.
I think you're
Snake
gaslighting me.
fake fact or fiction? Snake bites cause more deaths annually than mosquito bites.
Annually? Where? In the United States?
In the world.
No, mosquitoes.
Okay. You got that one right. Good job.
I know my germs.
I know.
Mosquitoes, tell me why. I think I have an idea. And I hope we're not dying from snake bites at that rate because I don't know what country to move to then. Where do
I
we
know.
go? I'm
Right?
moving to New York. They don't have snakes. They have rats or something. Rats eat snakes. There, perfect. We solved the problem.
I think it's the other way around, but
Don't
the
rats eat?
snakes.
Oh, shoot. You're right. Yeah, see, I suck. Go ahead.
All right. So when we talk about the killers of, animal killers of humans, by far, mosquitoes are the biggest ones. So they have been quoted to kill approximately like over like 750,000 people a year, like around
Dang.
760,000. Yes. And the majority of those deaths are from malaria. So I do want to preface this. Your question of where was a good
That's why.
question because mosquitoes typically kill people outside of the US. So it's malaria. There's also West Nile virus, all of the things that
Oh,
are
is
mosquito
it dengue
borne.
fever from mosquitoes? I can't remember. I'll look it up. I
Okay.
will. I was just curious because one that keeps popping in my head about an increased incidence. That's the only reason I was asking.
Gotcha. But then snake bite deaths are much less. So they haven't really been able to really nail down a number, but anywhere between 50 to 100,000 deaths per year. But yep, much less for sure.
So guess what? Dengue fever is by a mosquito. See, I like infectious disease.
I know it
So
is
it
your
is by,
jam.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
dengue
dengue
fever.
and yellow fever also.
Dengue. Is it dengue? Yes, that's like in our Caribbean areas. But yes, mosquitoes are they're the devil too. And I know they say, like treating your yards and stuff um is like not healthy with like pesticides, and I fully understand. But bodies of water, low bodies of water,
Yes.
standing bodies of water,
Like
things like that,
swamps, like
right?
standing water. Yep.
Yeah, those are we are a family that has hyper, what do they call it? Hyper, like a bolus reaction.
Oh, to
Like
mosquito
four
bites.
of the six of us. And
Oh,
it's bad. So we start on steroid and then we take like a high dose of hydrocortisone topical prescription version. But they like bolus and then they boiled and they break it's And I'm sure it
Mm,
has to do with species too, but it's probably because we're
yeah,
so sweet. So,
probably.
okay, well, let's keep talking about bugs and
All
dirt
right, let's do it.
and gross things. Gardening,
Okay.
which you know how I garden with pool noodles and Amazon boxes, and I stack
Yeah, you
flowers on
don't
top of
garden.
them.
Yes, we know.
That's correct. It's not a green thumb. What color would it be? Jaundice thumb, yellow, yellow thumb.
Brown.
That's what I've got.
I don't know. When
Yes.
things die, they turn brown, right? Like
Well, I'm not
flowers.
dying. But okay, so disturbing a soil while gardening can aerosolize fungal spores capable of causing fungal or pulmonary infections. Excuse me, not fungal, pulmonary infections.
Fact.
Yeah. But I didn't say fact or fiction. I said fake or for real.
So for real.
So you lost that one. So that's a
No,
loss.
nope, that's going
Fact
as
was
the
not an
right
answer,
one.
but you're absolutely right. So yeah, they're endemic fungi, histoplasma. We've talked about histoplasmosis. We'll talk about especially largely in the Ohio Valley. Blastmocytes. They reside in soil that they're enriched like birds or bats. Bats, guys, we're going to learn after COVID at some point that bats are vectors, but yes, they drop their droppings in our soil and they kind of settle. But then we get in there and they say till it and turn it over and do all these special things so your plants can have all this great stuff. And then they aerosolize these fungal spores and you can breathe them in while you're
Hmm.
doing your gardening and cause yourself a nice little fungal pneumonia. And
Yeah.
histoplasmosis has a very, very distinct pattern radiographically, which I don't know if you see that a lot in your area, but it's that and sarcoid is something that we tend to see a lot in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, I've seen sarcoid. I haven't really seen much histo in the
Yeah,
past, but
yeah.
interesting.
So here's some facts, guys. Don't go outside so you don't get bitten by mosquitoes, and so you don't get lung infections either.
Yeah, and then don't play in the dirt either, you know.
Don't play in the dirt. So basically, don't just live in a bubble. Where's the boy in the bubble again? You know, bring him back. All right, last round.
All right. Are you
Make this a
ready?
good one because you're about to lose today.
No. Okay. Anyways, fact or fiction? Spring fever is a scientifically proven phenomenon.
Hmm. I don't know what spring fever means. I know.
You've never
Okay,
heard that saying?
no, 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 no. This is why I like, okay, Enneagram 5, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm immediately like, I thought of three contexts I've heard of spring fever. Spring fever was what my mom used to say, that it was like spring fever meant I have spring fever, time to clean your room, which was also spring cleaning. Then there was spring
Okay.
fever, like I just had to get outside because it got warm out. And then well, I don't know, maybe it's just two. I thought I had a third one in my mind. So those two are what I think of with spring fever. So I don't know which one is spring fever. So I'm gonna say bird box because I don't know what the definition of spring fever is. I'll take a loss on this one just because now I'm like, what the heck is spring fever? Like
So,
formally.
yeah, yeah. So formally, spring fever is like that sort of like burst in energy that you get when like the weather starts to turn warm, right? So people want to be outside, they have more
Okay.
energy, they want to be around other people, like all of those things. Like so it's basically like, you have seasonal depression, right? And sometimes we'll get that in the winter. So like in
That's
the
why we didn't
spring,
meet for the whole winter.
yeah,
I was
probably.
depressed.
So, so when you get to the spring, people get happier, they have more energy, they want to get outside. And so my question was whether or not that has been like a scientific, like, is it scientifically proven that that is a true thing?
Yeah,
In the
is it?
end,
I'm gonna say, hold on. True.
go ahead.
Is it true?
No,
Okay, I take it back. I redact
no, you
for the
can't
record.
redact. You are officially losing.
I lost. That's okay. I still wanted to know what it was. So it's not scientifically proven. It's just
No,
it's
it's
like a
not.
old wives' tale.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely
Definitely
like
come from
this.
something though.
There is this definitely increase in people's happiness and energy, but and so um there's been some people who look at it and say it's because our body produces like less melatonin, like once the nights are less, like once the nights are shorter, um and there's definitely an improvement for people who suffer from seasonal depression, but there hasn't really been like a clear scientific reason for it, but there definitely, is a phenomenon that happens, but the science behind it is not clear. So,
I was just thinking, as you were talking through that, I was like, oh, she's going to end with a zinger, and I'm about to hit her back with something that piggybacks off of this. And you're lucky I can't find this paper because I had 5 extra questions in case you were winning
oh,
that I was going to lean into, but I was having too much fun and didn't care to lose today. So since we are in Lent, I am just going to give you that one. All right. Final question for me for not the win, but just for fun.
all right.
Starting starting naso, I did it again,
You did.
intranasal cortico, try to say it, intranasal corticosteroids after symptoms begin provides the same symptom control as starting them before peak pollen exposures.
False.
You're wrong.
Really?
Sit in that. Sarah hit the wrong button. Just kidding. You're right. Hit the
I
right
was
button.
like, there's no way I'm wrong.
You're right. You're right. Intranasal. See, I can't do it, April. Intranasal corticosteroids are the most effective when initiated prior, not after. It just allows suppression of early inflammation, kind of causes all that stuff to not kick up before it's already kicked up. It's kind of like, don't wait till your pain's at 10, take Tylenol or ibuprofen,
Yep.
Try to get ahead of it if you can.
Yep.
Same old, same old. So, okay, now moving into, we're getting ready to end this one. This was a great game. We clearly both won. This is really wonderful to be back. I want to know, what did you learn? Before we clock out, what did you learn today? Did you get smarter?
I mean, I got all mine right. So I already knew the ones you threw out.
That's insane. You lost. So you didn't get smarter.
So what
did
today's
episode
did you get smarter today?
I did. I was actually writing some notes because I was like, I want to talk about this. I think I'm going to go back to your first question. What was your first question, April? Remind me. I'm grabbing my notes really fast. Bladder, bladder, bladder. Your first question was
around the daylight savings.
That's correct. That is I got smarter. And April made me smarter. Let's call it that. April made me smarter, Alicia made me smarter, or April made me less smart. So April made me smarter today.
I like it.
The daylight savings blew my mind. I feel like I could talk about this for another 30 minutes because 1 hour, I just don't, I want to know more. I want to know why. I want to know exactly, is it circadian rhythm stuff? Is it 1 hour of sleep makes you have an accident?
Yeah, but so it's certain groups are more vulnerable. Wow.
That was great. See what I mean? Cortical. Intranasal. We're fresh, guys. We just learned how to talk. We haven't talked for months, clearly.
So it's including older adults, individuals who have pre-existing health conditions, shift workers, right, who are already sleep deprived anyways.
But I was
and then people who are already suffering from sleep disorders. So any small disruption. Did you ever work
during daylight savings? Ever?
I mean, I'm sure
I did. Were you a princess and you didn't have to?
Oh, I worked weekends.
I'm just kidding. Well, right, but I don't think I worked a lot of nights when that would happen.
So, no, I wasn't working night shift. I was just working day shift.
So it put you at 13 hours for that shift because I know, historically they would not take you off of it. So if I worked nights, when my first hospitalist job,
an extra night, yeah.
My first job was nights. It was admissions 3P to 3A. If it was a daylight savings, then I had to stay for 13 hours because it happened during that period. But I don't recall being any more tired than the fact that I was up at 3 a.m. and I am not built for that. So so that was my April made me smarter because I'm going to go look into it. And you best believe the next time we talk, actually, this might be some conversation on our or on our Instagram next week because I want to know more. Poll, how many of you guys knew daylight savings time might kill you? Because maybe that could be a good argument to the government to have them stop doing it. If we've got the data, why are we not telling the government? Let's just stop it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think time zone, I think jet lag might kill you more than. That's going to be the next question. Jet lag. All right, pin it. What did you learn? Are you smarter?
No, I told you I already got all mine right.
No, but did you learn anything from me? Just my letter or anything?
That
The
you
weather?
missed
Do
me.
you want to talk about the weather?
No, I
Nothing.
learned that you missed me.
I miss talking about the weather. That's it. Okay. Well, it was great, everybody. It was great while it lasted, but this will be our last episode for 2026.
We're just getting started.
We are just getting started. We're really excited to be back, and you might not know where to find us. So let's review this. None of you emailed us, so we're not even going to talk about our email address anymore for now.
That's right.
Unless there's one of you out there, but that's oncallpodcast@soundphysicians.com. But no one will do that. But hit us up on our social medias, guys. Instagram, we're on call with April and Alicia. You can also find us on LinkedIn. We're eventually going to have some YouTube up, and we're going to have some video, and this is going to be exciting. But most importantly, guys, if you can get on the social media platform, especially the Instagram, Facebook, we will be starting to post clips of our podcast for you guys and start engaging and talking about polls and medical fact of the week or tip of the week. So lots of good things going on there. April, anything you want to add on that end before we close?
Nope, I think you covered it. We're just excited to be back and want to hear from you guys if you have any ideas.
We really are. We're excited. And for all of you guys that did reach out, honestly, thank you. We missed you guys too. In all seriousness, this was really just what we needed to do to get the show back and right for you guys and right in our schedule. So until the next time, guys, we're getting ready to clock out, but you guys stay well and we will stay on call.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.